We are live. Fantastic. All right, guys. Those of you guys who are tuning in, do know I'm just getting everything up and ready. And settle in, get comfortable. We've got a 30-minute PAL session ahead of us. This could be anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes strapped in. So looking forward to connect with all of you guys. Let's just share out my screen again. Oh, went wrong. Oop, that's the wrong account. Let me go to the other one. My personal account. All right, guys, as you're trickling in, give me a shout in the comments. We'd love to hear your, where you're tuning in from. What do you use Glorify for currently? It would be great to know that. And yeah, this is just a very sort of, casual session, office hours, we call it, for, just trying to give you as much value as possible, give you a tour about, our latest updates on Glorify, get you into show you a couple of workflows. So try to cover some tips, things that I've been experimenting personally, and some of our team members have noticed, very useful workflows that you can utilize within Glorify. So we'll jump into all of that today. But more than anything, it's about connecting with you guys as well, and to see how you're getting on with Glorify. This session, you're able to actually open mic and speak to me directly. So if you do want to speak to me directly, drop it in the comments so we can open mic. If you have any thoughts to share, any feedback, any improvements, we're all ears, honestly. So I'm just going to be sharing my screen. We're going to move along. I just want to make sure that I'm sharing my post on the community very quickly. So let me just reshare that quickly. Great. So I just reshare that on the community. If you know anyone that's part of the Glorify community, do let them know that this is now, our session is live, and invite them along, because the more the merrier, right? Fantastic. Great. So let's get started. Which of you guys saw my last tutorial? It's live currently within YouTube, and it's been reshared across all of our different channels. We're quite happy with what we're able to achieve. Hey, Mohammed, just also, if you can, let me know. Can you guys hear me clearly, by the way? It would be good to know. Wassalam, my friend. Walaikum salam. So just, yeah, I'm fantastic, my brother. Can you just make sure you can hear me? Fantastic, of course, yeah, because you're replying to me, so that's great. Just wanted to make sure. All right, guys, we're gonna jump straight into the last design I went through. So which of you guys actually saw my workflow recently? I actually showed a process on how to create these beautiful logo designs, animated logo designs. These are fantastic to use for your branded content across any social media channel. If you want to show your brand in a very engaging format, then perhaps you're sharing content across different social media platforms, then you can use this logo both on the intro, and in fact, I forgot to mention, you can even use this on the outro, because a lot of short form content, you have the main content that will come, perhaps you speaking on camera and giving some value out to your audience. And at the very end, you can throw up this logo animation. And of course, logo animation is one thing. You can also add a call to action and so much more to this, right? In fact, let's go in today's office hours. I'd like to focus on trying to expand from here. So let's go ahead and duplicate this immediately. I want to try something, and perhaps we're working on some social media content. And in this case, maybe what if we want to, for example, so what if we want to actually, let me see if I can do this. Yeah, so what if you want to add a call to action, right? Let's see if this works. Yeah, so that's been moved up. So I just selected all the layers from the layers panel and then used the arrow keys and moved up. We're working on a fix now, which allows you to select all the layers directly from the canvas without going into the layers panel. But when you add an animation, sometimes some of these layers are not visible yet. So you have to wait in the middle of the animation to see all the layers. And when you try to select them, the timer goes back to the beginning. So we're working on a fix to kind of keep the timer pause wherever you've left it last, right? So you can select the elements you want. But in this situation, you can use the layers panel as well and then use the arrow keys to move things up and down. But for now, I want to go ahead and add one of these button styles, like maybe this rounded button. And we'll go into our assets panel and we'll say something like in the edit panel, and we'll go to the settings, and in this case, I'd like to say something like, I don't know, follow for more. Very common call to action, right? In social media, you see this all the time. I'll go staying consistent with the brand, the logo design that you see over here, and we'll increase the font size to a bigger size. Fantastic. Also, I think we can afford to make this big and chunky, right? The bigger, the better. Well, not the bigger, the better, but a nice, chunky, large call to action is always good to have. I want to see if I can make this. Okay, so this is a regular font size. What font are we using here? Poppins, right? So yeah, so this is the font that's being used in this design. So in this case, I'll use Poppins, and I'll go with a 500, which is like kind of bold, medium maybe. Let's go even bolder, right? Let's go super bold. Let's space out the text as well. And I'm going to hold Command on my keyboard. Oh, sorry. Is it Command or how do you? Yeah. Yeah, it's Command. Yeah, it's Option on the keyboard for Mac, and I think it'll be Alt, maybe drag on Windows. To basically, what happens if you hold that key, you essentially scale from the center, which is very useful. Okay, I think it's too bold. In fact, I'm going to go a few sizes below. There we go. Follow for more. And let's go and play this out now. Fantastic, but I think it's too high. Let's bring this a little bit below, shall we? Yeah, using the layers panel. And let's pick the button and we'll give it a nice, perhaps, let's try this breathe transition, see what that looks like. And we'll delay it to the very end of the animation. That's kind of cool. So always adjusting the timeline. Animation is just playing around with timing because you don't know what's going to look the best. And the thing that you don't want to do, and this is what I said in my last tutorial, is don't make all the layers start at the same time. That's not going to work out. It's not going to be impactful for the design. play with the timings, because that's the best way to get the best result. And it's all about hierarchy, right? So the call to action, I think, should come at the end, because you introduce the brand, and then at the very end, follow, Think a little bit earlier, too late. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And we can also make the animation more sharper and punchier by reducing the timing of the animation. So instead of 1 second, I'm going to go to like half a second. Yeah, and now this can be even earlier. Yeah, look at that. So that's super impactful, right? So we have the logo come in, and then boom, this nice little call to action at the end. I also don't like that the subheading and the call to action comes around the same time. I think the subheading needs to come a lot earlier. So let's pull that back. Yeah, that's way better. Nice. And now, of course, we've got an animation. You can go simply export that with MP as an MP4. Simple as that. All right, so we just did a design based on, like some of the best practices, especially when you're looking at social media. If you have a logo animation at the end, you definitely want a call to action. Let's try and recolor this. And this is, again, the power of Glorify, is that you don't always want to keep your branded graphics the same. People often do that, and what tends to happen is you get brand fatigue. People get bored of seeing the same thing over and over again, right? And so what I like to do is just mix it up a little bit. You've got a few colors, and try perhaps an inverted version. So instead of having a white background, have a orange background with white text and white button, or a black button even could work. This kind of dark button that this color, this button came in. I'll go back to, so the text color is right here. And perhaps we can kind of match the background, see what that looks like. That's kind of interesting. I like where this is going. And the fitness logo can be white. It's going somewhere. And what else? Yeah, we got these other icons that I can't see because of the animated layers. So let's get the dot, and we'll make the dot white too. And the bull, I think, can stay the same color, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what happens here. Okay, something's wrong with a lot of these layers. I'm not sure what happened here. Where are the layers? That's the question. There's the logo button. What color is the bull right now? Okay, so it's all there. I'm going to quickly do a refresh and see if that fixes it. If you run into any errors, don't forget that video and animation is a beta feature. And so if you do run into issues, nothing like a hard refresh should be able to resolve it. Or I also recommend doing a revision. Something's wrong with this. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm going to delete it and start again. Let's try this one more time. So here's our design. This time, let's go ahead and hit play. Yeah, so we can see all the layers. It's definitely working. So just about playing around with the colors now. Let's try and replicate what we just did. I think the white button is way more impactful. I'm going to go with the white button because it just screams like a real call to action, right? So I'm going to go with that instead this time. And yeah. Nice. There we go, right? So worked on the second attempt, thankfully. So again, very quickly, we are creating alternate versions of the original logo animation by duplicating and just playing around with the colors. It really is that simple. All right, let's see what we can do. I'm just going to look at the comment section. So Mohammed is recommending an interactive action in video. Want to try? This sounds like an interesting feature. Request if get called to interactive action in video pages and website embed code. this will be a powerful feature in Glorify. So basically interactive action in video pages and website embed code. So you essentially maybe embed these animations inside a website and make it interactive. Is that what you're saying? That does sound interesting. I wonder if there's a use case for it. It does definitely sound interesting. Oh, okay. So making the animations actually interactive would be very interesting for sure. If we can actually make that happen, that would be kind of cool. Something I have to do research in and see if our users really want that. I'm going to do another color variation, guys, for this example. So let's go ahead and duplicate this. And this time I am going to try an alternative color altogether. We're going to go black. Dark background, I mean. Boom. Orange in the forefront. And let's pick the dot and go back to orange on the dot. And let's pick the bull. And our good friend, the bull, can go white this time. Let's see how this plays out, huh? Not bad, not bad. Something about this makes me want to feel like I should be making the call to action orange, because that would make it stand out more in this context. And then the heading should be white, because the heading deserves to be white. It needs to be the hierarchy. So some of these tweaks are important. And we'll go back to the main subheading, which you notice in the original logo anyway was orange, right? Now it's becoming more consistent. Let's go ahead and hit play on that. Yeah, I prefer this compared to what we just had. This makes sense. There's a sense of hierarchy and what's important. So yeah, lots of variations here, guys. Imagine now exporting this for all of your social media content. You're now alternating these different designs for, you're now alternating these different designs for your social media content. It's just a powerful way of designing on an infinite canvas, right? I'm going to keep the infinite play on and loop it. Meanwhile, quick, going back into comments. So Mohammed is definitely the powerhouse for this session. Thanks for your engagement, my friend. Redirects visitors anywhere like to e-commerce store, landing page, or blog. So yeah, I mean, I wonder if you can. I don't think you can make videos clickable, because a video is a video at the end of the day. But if you make it embeddable, and the elements are, like the same elements that we see on this graphic, that could be possible. But I wonder if you can embed it. You need all the elements to actually be graphical elements. It's definitely an interesting concept, and I have to wonder, if that's something that can work, because it would be cool. It would be really cool if we can create embeddable animated content and then drive people to take action. So that's one version. Let's see if there's no other colors in this particular logo design. So I'm going to take this to the next stage, and we'll start creating some ads out of this brand. I'm going to assume the Spiceonox brand is, obviously it says it's a fitness brand. It's one of our logo templates found right inside our template library. So if you go over here and you scroll to, or you just type logo, in fact, it should work. Yeah, so there we are. And then just go into that. You have to reset the search. I don't know why that happens, actually. Logo. Okay, that's something we have to look at. When we go in, we gotta research the search. Okay, so that's something that I need to make sure we definitely get fixed, because that's not how it should work. Let's go down here, go inside. Yeah, that's how it should work. Yeah, it's a good spot. So we were talking about this logo and how can we now translate all this into deeper assets, right? Because this is just a logo animation. You can use that on video content. perhaps you want to now repurpose the branding for across some real marketing materials, right? So in this case, let's go ahead and pick maybe some kind of like story size ad. I'll call it vertical video. Well, that's what we call it in Glorify at least. And again, we got this kind of search issue. That's not good. That's vertical. Let's see if this works. If I click one of these formats. Okay, that does work. That's interesting. Yeah, so you can see all these animated designs, as you can see right here. So let's go into one of these and pick something that we can use. Yeah, this one looks pretty good. Let's go ahead with this one. So Tech Gala 2024. So in this case, what I want to do is let's make all the elements, actually, let's copy all the elements, see if this actually works. I don't know if this is the first time I'm doing this, guys. It's an experiment for me too. And first of all, I want to switch up the colors of this and match it to the actual brand that we're using in this example. So let's try something like that. So very quickly, by the way, just because I've got these designs present in this file, it's so easy to rebrand, right? I need to point that out. Like, you are just selecting these elements and the colors are already available. Even if you haven't added them inside your brand colors, you don't have the brand colors set up. This is my brand. I use that for my own personal brand. But in this case, because you brought the assets inside the canvas, you just use document and shades, and the document colors will be there anyway, right? So you're ahead of the game all the time. So I'm going to use this, and I don't like this color. It's like very, and that's because the font is so light. That's not very good practice for a call to action, something I got to tell our designer to maybe change. But we can use this limited stock left. I'm liking this already. And let's call this, well, it depends on the product, right? So let's replace the product first. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the product with, I don't know if I have a fitness product. I do keep some products in here. Yeah, none of these are really fitness. So you know what? I'll just use a random example from the internet. What's a cool sport brand? Let me think. You know what? Let's just use a existing asset from one of these libraries. We'll go to Unsplash. I think we recently integrated Unsplash. It should be here. There it is. So we can type like fitness and pick something out of this. I want to go with fitness orange just to find something that's actually branded in the same way. So there's some shoes here. That kind of looks cool. But I want to remove the background for this example. So let's see if we can pick something that we can remove the background of. All these images are so. Let's just do like shoes, fitness orange shoes. Love to see like some floating shoes. I can't find anything in here, man. I'm doing terrible looking for some basic assets. You could try to maybe use one of these models, but I want to look for something that's more like a product. Let's find something like orange t-shirt. Okay, that's clearly the wrong. Oh, there's like a little surfer board there. Actually, let's try that surfer. Okay, surfer board. God, big fail today. Can't seem to find the right product. Oh, I'm being really picky. That too. That is part of what's happening here. Let's see if we can get something. Surfboard. Obviously, I need to spell it right first. Looking for like a simple product. I can't seem to find one. Ah, okay, let's use this. There we go. Exactly what I was looking for. Simple product right in the middle. Scale that. There's the shoes. And we're going to go ahead and use remove background. So really process is upload your content, replace the content, the template with your existing content. And I think for this example, we'll keep the ground because I don't like how this photo is not really, it doesn't really look good without the floor. So let's see if we can keep that and just remove the background here. Yeah, that looks better. Let's see how this looks. Very unpredictable, but not too bad. Not too bad. I'm kind of happy with that, actually. In fact, what I'll do is Command copy, paste it inside the shape. There you go. Way better. And then what we can also do is, I think we can drop shadow this, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's actually for the image. I think, can we add a drop shadow inside this image? Okay, that's a feature we must add. We should be able to add drop shadows inside of the shape as well, because that would be really, really useful, right? But yeah, this is overall cool. We can also now try maybe a shade of the actual brand orange, because just to make the product pop a bit more. So what I'll do is use one of these shades. And that's what's useful about the shade feature, is that you can try out different shades to get the desired effect. In fact, we're going to switch this to the opposite. We'll have orange inside the product image, and we'll use black inside here. And again, same thing, Poppins, the main brand font for this example. Great. And we're going to make the color stand out for this call to action. Also, I want to round the corners of this call to action. The rounded corner for the buttons at the bottom, by the way. Some people miss that, but it is right at the bottom there. So yeah, of course we need copy now, right? So let's go ahead and play this and see how this comes together. Not bad, right? For a template that we just customized for a completely different product, I'm pretty happy with it. I also feel like maybe this can be scaled down a little bit so that there's a little bit of padding around the image. And we forgot something really important. I don't think we need this at the top. We need the actual Bisonox logo, right? That's what's key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. First time I've ever done this, by the way. I'm going to see if I can paste it right in there. It did work. Now the question is, you know what? I pasted the wrong one. I should be pasting this one because this needs to be on an orange background. So let's copy that, paste that there. Arrow keys with the layer panel moving to the top where we can see it. Great. And I want to move this image a bit lower, and let's see how this plays out now. I have no idea. Hey, turned out to work well, right? So again, just proves that, how useful it is to simply reuse existing assets in your workspace, right? Because by doing that, you saw what happened. We were able to super effectively, what's going on here? This is like a fade thing going on here. So let's move this down. Ooh. Okay, so this is basically a pulse effect, but for some reason the pulse effect is making my button a bit low resolution, which I don't like. So let's go ahead and switch that over. That could be an issue as well. Yeah, so it looks like the pulse effect, the pulse transition needs a little bit of a fix. So I just spotted that. So I'll make sure that our dev team knows that they have to fix that too. But call to action should come at the end, as it has right now. Another issue I noticed is that sometimes some of these layers, once they're set, I can't drag them beyond this point. I don't know why that is. And maybe it's something to do with the animation length, or not quite sure. Let's see what we have here. Animation duration, start time. Okay, so the start time has been established. But you should be able to drag this without even having to set a start time, right? So you shouldn't be reliant on just using the edit panel to tweak animation. And by the way, just if you guys didn't know that, you can tweak the animation start and end from this area over here, right? Kind of cool. So that animation did come together well. For me, what's kind of cool, what blows my mind is that, you know, I remember doing these kind of animations back in the day in 2012 using Flash and After Effects. And man, was the process super tedious, super slow. But with this, you can do it super fast, which is a game changer, right? And so we are definitely ahead of the curve now, but no doubt there's tons of more that we can bring to you guys, because of course, graphics editing has come to a new place now. You need AI tools. We need, you know, better kind of effects. You know, you want customization on text and layers and just lots of flexibility. And to get to that level, the next step for us really is to introduce more AI features, more flexibility. And so we are going to be introducing some cool integrations. So stay tuned, guys. We've got some really exciting announcements coming very soon. And I'm really, really pumped about that, right? And to give you a little teaser, if you guys have heard of Leonardo has as an AI tool that has a range of cool AI functionality. We're planning to integrate Leonardo to Glorify so you can get more AI features to fast track your design process. So I'm really, really excited about that. But yeah, we're coming to the end of the session, guys. Hopefully we get to see more of you sometime soon. I'm just going to go back into the comments and see what's been happening. Hey, Mohammed. Mohammed's been the star of the show. Thank you. It's, yep, agreed. Yeah, Flash was just another era, right? I feel like Flash I remember it as sharp as it was yesterday using Flash. It was like my first job in animation after graduating in animation was just doing Flash ads. Man, it's nuts. 2012, like, it's crazy how fast time goes. But here we are, right? And yeah, I mean, it's great that we can do this kind of stuff, but you know, we're not competing with 2012 anymore, right? We're competing with 2024. And so there's so much more that we need to add into Glorify. And we're aware of that, you know, perspective, masking, you know. Really the goal is to make Glorify into the most powerful graphics design tool for creators, right? Creators to create stuff at scale for their content, for their businesses, what have you, right? Across all kinds of mediums. And so that's the cool thing that you can do with Glorify. Of course, now we can export in all formats, including video with WebM and MP4 formats, as well as JPEG, PNG, and WebP, all the way through to PDF and SVG. So we've got it all there, guys, and let's take it further together. So hope you enjoyed the session. Anyone else tuning in, I really appreciate your time. And yeah, I mean, look, the only star of the show we've had is Mohammed. Guys, if you want to say last thoughts, last words before we do conclude. Again, we are doing these weekly. We're going to make sure that people know about these every single week. Sometimes we have a little bit short notice in terms of announcing it, and we understand that. But we're just getting everything together and making sure that we build a little bit of a system around this. So stay tuned for the next office hours next week, and would love to see you there. And if you have any further questions, yeah, maybe the next minute is all you have. There we go. Finally, someone said something. Elwanda Bennett. Thanks, Elwanda. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Awesome, guys. Look, so see you in the next session next week, same time, 4 p.m. BST, UK time, essentially GMT. Soon we'll be out of BST zone, British Summer Time. It'll just be GMT. So yeah, just stay tuned. And yeah, if you have any thoughts in terms of what kind of content you want us to create, let me know. In fact, just before I do conclude, Elwanda, this is the first time I've seen you in one of our sessions. I'd love to know, what do you use Glorify for, if I can ask that? Let's see if Alwanda can respond. She uses to generate OPT. I use it to generate graphics. Cool. And graphics for what specifically? I'd love to know. Okay, so branded graphics, right? So Alwanda uses it for branding. That's cool. Of course, we've been able to demonstrate today. You can of course create very powerful both animated and image branded content with Glorify at scale, which is of course very powerful. So posting online, cool. Good to hear. So I'd assume like social media content posting online, huh? For businesses, for brand. Cool. Awesome. Okay, well, look, that's really good to hear. Guys, I will be tuning out. Again, if you have any further questions, hit me up in the community. I'm always available. I'm always got my eyes wide open, both in the Facebook community and Discord. I'm all ears. So see you guys soon. Take care.